daughter-in-law, yeah.
So he's warning against, so it's not just the religious system. So the Pharisees, he's been talking about corruption being introduced into religion, but now he's saying Herod too. So he's talking about the government bringing in corruption into, he's saying beware of it. So he's saying that it could bring corruption into Christianity, corruption into the church.
So be careful of government, be careful of false prophets.
So false prophets and evil ones, but now he's saying the government.
Pay attention, well, this is new, so pay attention to Jesus' teachings.
Yeah. And so he warned of that, and so did we see that happen? So we've seen that happen. So if we look at Constantine, so Constantine was a Roman emperor, 306 AD to 337. So on one hand, he's kind of the one that helped Christianity spread, become big. Because people were persecuting and killing Christians, and he stopped it. And some people say he became a Christian, but he definitely became favorable towards Christians. And there were a lot of disputes, some people said Jesus was God, some people said he wasn't, some people said it's a Trinity, some people, so they had all of that. And so he got everybody together in the Council of Nicaea to create one doctrine. So there was a lot of different doctrines. So that's where the Trinity, the concept of the Trinity, the concept of Jesus as God, that's when that was defined.
Yeah.
So he helped put that forward. He helped define when the holy days were, Christmas and Easter he came up with. So it was good. So he did a lot of good stuff. But he was a pagan king. So the problem was that when he did it, he mixed in his pagan stuff into the religion. So the Christmas and Easter, there was already pagan holidays on Christmas. So he wanted everybody to convert to Christianity. So he's put the Christmas holiday, the holiday around the winter solstice, the honoring Saturn. So and then there was a one around March. That's why it's based on the Sunday after the first new moon. So anything doing with the new moon, it's something related to some other religion. Yeah, Easter.
Okay. And
it's based on the new moon. So it's based. So anything related to the moon is
And Easter's the only annual thing we're supposed to celebrate anyway. Christian is not. We're not asked to acknowledge Jesus' birth in the Bible. Death and suffering and resurrection.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And because nobody knows when he was born anyway.
Right. So they didn't have a date when he was born, but he picked the day that they were already celebrating. And he also introduced, the whole pagan, the introduction of the Christmas tree, the Yule log, all of that came from the pagan stuff that was already going on. And so that's the yeast that got mixed into Christianity from Herod. So it's from the political. So from the Pharisees can mix it in, and the government. There's a mystery religion of Babylon that we talked about before, which we saw was the foundation of where the whole stories of Easter, the Christmas tree, the Yule logs, all those traditions, all the pagan religions are based from that mystery religion of Babylon.
Is there a pagan religion associated with Easter?
Well, the Babylonian religion is based on. So Easter was.
But Babylon was before Jesus Christ, right?
It was.
But there was still something happening.
So there was something.
Oh, that's right.
So Babylon is so Nimrod made the original Tower of Babel, and he ended up marrying his mother, Semiramis. I don't know how to say it right. But then there's so they say that he died and came back and got reincarnated, and then he had a child through his mother. And so when he came back to life, that's what the new tree, that's what the Christmas tree represents.
Oh, yeah.
So the child was his mother, so that was Nimrod, Semiramis, and I forgot his son name in Hebrew. But then it's that same story, that same religion has spread to everywhere. So in Egypt, they call it Isis, Osiris, and Isis, Osiris, and so it's the same gods, it's the same people. And then you have in the Greek mythology, it's the same. It's Zeus. So it's the same incarnation of the same story, the same people. It's the same origin of the religion. And so the woman Semiramis is known as Ishtar in Egypt. And so they said when she died, she went up to heaven, and she came down in an egg, came back, and I think it was something like a rabbit saved her, and so she gave the rabbit the ability to lay eggs. So Ishtar, they had a festival celebrating Ishtar.
So even Christmas, Easter, Halloween, the origins
I don't know about Halloween.
Origins of these holidays were in the pagan world.
Were in the pagan world. And so Ishtar, they already had a celebration for Ishtar, and they would have like orgies in the woods, and it was on the day that we celebrate Easter, but it was called Ishtar, and so they didn't even change the name. So Ishtar is Easter.
Okay.
So we even kept the name of the goddess that they were worshiping.
So we're celebrating the right thing, but the wrong way, maybe.
Well. So the thing is, so the church claims that they purposely put it on the same day as those existing ones, but their claim was that they're doing it to convert the pagans, so it'd be easier for them to convert over. And so the pagans had these, I'm going to worship the god of the crop, I'm going to worship the god of this. And then the Catholics came and said, oh, well, you can do that, but just call them Saint this. You could do that, but call them Saint that. So they replaced the different gods with their saints. They replaced, Mary. They were worshiping Ishtar. They were worshiping the female. So they said, hey, here's a statue of Mary. You guys can worship Mary. And so they just changed it to be...
My brother had a favorite word. It was abomination. And I looked it up. And it says abomination is everything, the way things are, and I probably said this before, things are supposed to be a certain way, they're exactly opposite. They're 180 degrees in reverse. And it says she's got a golden cup in her hand filled with abominable things and the filth of her adultery. So the cup, I don't know why it's got to be golden, but it's full of everything opposite of the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that can include anything.
Yeah.
Incest, same sex or whatever.
Yeah.
Anything. Abomination. It's the opposite of the way it's supposed to be.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a pretty bad golden cup full of, if you flip everything around opposite of the way God intended, that's a nasty proposition.
Right. And so that's the leaven that has been and is still being mixed into the church.
Yeah.